What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus package update and daily news report for Tuesday, December 7th. So we're getting further and further into December, which means we have to pass additional bills. Today's video, I want to talk about the stimulus package, what we're seeing there. I'm going to talk about the debt ceiling plan, how lawmakers want to pass some bills before the Christmas deadline. We're also going to dive into the affordable housing news that came out just recently. I want to bring this to you because I think this is just crazy. What is actually happening right now is just insane. So I will address all these things in today's video. First off, I just want to say thank you guys for always supporting the channel, always hitting that like button, and commenting on the videos. Again, I use the comments as a way to figure out what you guys really want answers on. So if you put some comments there in the comment section below, let me know what you want more videos on. I will do those videos. So one of the things that was asked a few days ago was, how does the Biden administration plan to tackle this issue on affordable housing? Well, here's what I can tell you. Right now, affordable housing is going to be one of those big issues. Yes, we're going to see about $150 billion go towards affordable housing if this Build Back Better Act passes. But as of right now, that's in question. We do not know if it will pass. But I want to provide you with some very interesting news. Okay? Here's what we heard. The Biden administration is dead set on providing affordable housing to millions of Americans. We know this. The housing market has actually gotten out of control. If you are a current owner, you are an investor, you have real estate at this time, you're probably doing really well. Home prices were up 16% from the third quarter from last year, and experts predict the prices are going to continue to climb. But why? Why will they continue to go up when the Biden administration and lawmakers are trying to pass bills for affordable housing to tackle this issue? Well, there's multiple reasons. But here's one. Okay? Lumber is fairly expensive. We know this, right? And the Biden administration recently made a move to make it even more expensive for home builders. Now here's how. And you're probably thinking, I don't think they did. I think they're making it cheaper. No, they're making it more expensive. Here's how. The Commerce Department recently announced on December 24th that it is going to increase the duties of softwood lumber imported from Canada. The average duty used to be 8.99%. However, it now sits at 17.9%. Yes, double. Now, according to the College of Environmental Science and Forestry, the U.S. imports roughly $4.5 billion worth of softwood lumber from Canada. Now, this accounts for about 83% of the total softwood lumber imports by value, but this is only about 25% of the actual lumber. But that is the issue. If we keep making things more expensive in the beginning, right, in the front end, everything on the back end, building, right, renovations, making new homes, making better homes, going and building apartment buildings, that is going to be more expensive. Again, this is just another issue, and this is what a lot of people ask is, how are they going to tackle this issue? Well, here's the problem. Some lawmakers want to do certain things and provide more benefits to make affordable housing, make housing more affordable. The problem is others want to do whatever they can to increase values, right? But here's my question. How can we provide more affordable housing when the current administration is making it more expensive themselves? How? Honestly, I don't understand this move by the Biden administration. I just don't understand why do this right now. Yes, I understand, people are building, there's a lot of money, still in the economy, a lot of people are saving to try to get them to, buy more, right? Or to increase taxes, right? Get more revenue coming in. I understand that part, but is this really the right time to do that? Some say no, this is not the right time. So we'll see what happens there. Let's get into the talks of the debt ceiling though. this was the big news as of yesterday afternoon and evening. I didn't really address this yesterday afternoon, mainly because I was still waiting for the reports to come out. I didn't want to be too early. Because right now, House Democrats are considering multiple options to increase the debt ceiling. What we are hearing is that the first option is they want to pass the NDAA, then pass a separate bill for the debt ceiling increase with a fast-tracked approach in the Senate. That's option one. Option two, they want to tie the NDAA and debt limit together and force Republicans to vote against it. Now, why would they do that? Okay, and first, tying the NDAA and debt limit together, that is actually something that was floated by Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. So this isn't just a Democratic idea. This is a bipartisan idea to put the two together, but it has a lot of issues, and I'll address that in a minute. A third option was to pass both bills separately. Again, this is in the House. Pass them separately, but then tie the two bills together by rule and send it to the Senate. Okay? Now, here's where things get very tricky. Right now, Democrats are hoping that by tying the two bills together, it would actually make Republicans accept the deal, okay? Accept the debt limit increase in order to pass the NDAA. Now, that sounds great, right? Let's pass them both. But this is already getting pushed back by some Republicans. Mitch McConnell and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer were the two that floated this idea initially. But the reports indicate that in order to get the GOP on board, Democrats would have to make this enticing enough for them. But how did they do that? That's where things get a little bit interesting, because we honestly don't know. We do not know exactly what lawmakers are thinking at this time, but we are getting more updates from senators. And this is what Senator John Cornyn said just yesterday. He said, and I quote, "I think it confuses the message. So if a vote for the NDAA, if I vote for the NDAA, people are going to say, I voted to raise the debt limit. I'm not for that." And this is the common response from multiple lawmakers as well. So some say, I'm not going to vote to raise the debt limit just because I support the NDAA. And that's the issue, is that's what Democrats want. They are trying to force the hand of the Republicans. Again, we got 8 days. It's December 7th today. We have until December 15th. According to reports, what we are hearing is that lawmakers are expected to stay over this weekend. They are expected to work the 11th and 12th, which is Saturday and Sunday, because, according to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he wants to see votes happen soon. He wants to see votes on the debt limit. He wants to see that happen by early next week, which early next week, or even middle of next week, is December 15th. So that is a week from tomorrow. The problem there is we have to have a deal before that. So it's creating a lot of issues, but we'll see what happens there. Again, as we know more, I promise I will fill you in on those updates. Now, here's the other thing. What Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said in a letter to Democrats, he said that yes, they will have to stay a little bit longer. They will have to work through the weekend to set up votes for next week. But what kind of votes are going to happen next week? First, they want to get the NDAA passed. Now, that's not the one with the biggest priority, but they want to get that passed. They know that would probably be the easiest thing to pass. The second thing, they have to get the debt ceiling passed. This is something, it's not a, we should, or let's hope we can. It's, we must get it passed. So there's two bills right there. The Human Infrastructure Bill and the Build Back Better Act, that, according to multiple reports, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wants to have a vote on that sometime next week, most likely towards the middle to end, after the debt ceiling increase happens. Now, here's what I can tell you. According to Senator Joe Manchin, he has said that he doesn't know how passing a $1.75 trillion bill would help control inflation. All he hears is passing this bill will actually control inflation. It would bring down prices, make things cheaper, make things easier for the American people, but he doesn't know how that works. He says he wants proof that this is actually going to happen, but nobody can actually provide that. But he did say, I don't know how you control inflation when the first year of spending is going to be quite large. True. And Senator Manchin also said that he doesn't see how this bill gets passed before Christmas. Again, we have 18 days from today until Christmas Day. Lawmakers are not going to be voting on Christmas Day. I don't see them voting on Christmas Eve. Honestly, I could see them in Washington if there's not a deal done. Because 2 weeks from this Friday is Christmas Eve. If there's not a deal done by 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from today would put us on the 21st of December. I honestly don't think we get a deal done. So if something doesn't really happen, we don't see movement by the end of this week, we don't see a lot of movement this weekend and votes happening next week, honestly, I don't think a deal is going to get done. I really don't. So we'll see what happens there. But according to Senator Joe Manchin, he says there's a lot of changes to be done, and you're throwing it at a time when it's very vulnerable in our economy. But Democrats have a plan to get his vote. Now, I want to address this plan because this is very similar to what Democrats are doing to Republicans. The plan is to force Joe Manchin to vote on this bill. We know that once the Senate parliamentarian is done with her job, once she rules whether or not the immigration provision can be included into this bill, then votes would happen. And according to reports, they could happen as early as next week. They could potentially happen this week, but I honestly don't think it would actually work. Senate parliamentarian, according to reports, should be done with her part probably this week, if not early next week, and as soon after, Senate can actually vote on this bill. But once the ruling has been made, whether or not the immigration provision can be included, the Senate's going to move forward. Okay, but here's what I can tell you: reports indicate that the Senate will work this weekend to try to set up a floor vote sometime next week. But this is where things get very interesting. Democrats, according to reports, are going to force Senator Joe Manchin to vote on this bill, even though they know he doesn't support it as it currently stands. But multiple Democrats are saying that by having a vote, this would allow the American people to see how each lawmaker decides to vote. And it would put more pressure on that lawmaker to support it. But this could also backfire. Democrats could potentially be setting themselves up to fail here if this actually happens. And if they fail, they cannot get this bill passed. The problem is the Biden administration looks bad, Democrats look bad, and then we'd see all the pressure put on Joe Manchin. And that's probably what Republicans are hoping for. So we'll see what happens there. But honestly, as of right now, I don't see this bill passing before December or before Christmas. Could it? Yes. Will it? I don't know. And if you ask somebody like billionaire Elon Musk, he says that we should just can this entire bill. He doesn't like the bill, and some say it's because he has to pay more in taxes. Yes, possibly that is one of the reasons, but the other reason why is because he says he doesn't like the EV subsidies. He says we should just get rid of all of them. So you wouldn't get any money back if you go and buy an electric vehicle, which if you got some money back, that should probably increase the amount of sales that Tesla gets. But at the same time, it also increases the amount of sales other manufacturers get as well. So that could create more competition. Maybe that's his kind of motive behind this. So who knows, but that is what it is. But now that we're talking about cars, let's talk about gas prices. We have some good news. We have some actually pretty good news. Gas prices across the country have gone down a little bit. Over a week ago, they were $3.41 per gallon. Now, gas prices are at just $3.34, so down about 7 to 8 cents. Experts do predict that gas prices will continue to fall, and one of the main reasons for this is because of the Omicron variant. But there's a second reason. The other main reason why prices are going to fall for the average gallon of gas is because OPEC agreed to increase oil supply by 400,000 barrels per day in January. So, experts are predicting gas prices will drop even further come January and February. Now, one thing I just wanted to point out, gas prices will fall, but here's the other issue. The other problem is the winter is coming. It's getting colder where I live. It's currently 37 degrees, so it is a little bit cold, but experts are trying to give their advice as to what you can do to potentially use less gas. You can do things like not accelerating too quickly and not decelerating too fast, so braking. The other thing is not letting your car idle for too long in the mornings. And I understand this because it does snow around me. So in the winter time, too many people actually let their cars run for probably 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in order to avoid shoveling off the snow off their car or scraping the ice off their windshields. Now, experts say that what they recommend is to either put a blanket over your windshield and then pull it off in the mornings to either pull the snow or so that your windshields don't freeze, which means you could actually start your car up and drive almost immediately. You do not have to have your car idle. Now, they also say there's really no purpose to idling your car. It's not like you're warming it up so that the engine is works better. It's not like that. That's not the way a car works. If you drive it, that is more effective. But the majority of people do warm up their cars in the morning simply because they are cold. They don't want to go from a warm house into a cold car and then go drive to work. So, experts say if you can, put your car in a garage or even under a carport because this would actually help the car stay a little bit warmer. So, that is what we know at this time, but as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. One thing I can tell you is this week and next week will be big. What we see happen within Congress this week and next week will be telling as to what we see for the rest of this month and how our new year is going to go. So I will address all those things as we get them. But again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.